Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but we're back. If you guys don't follow me on social media, it's probably gonna be really, new news to you guys. But I suffered a little bit of an injury, and so that really took a toll on all aspects of my life. But anyway, what we're gonna be doing today is testing new products that I got, and I have been some I've been using, some I haven't been using. I've been saving for this opportunity. But we're also going to be doing kind of a story time, giving you guys an update on like what's been going on. So let's start getting ready. So I wanted to mention this product. This is by the Be Tan brand. I've talked about this brand on my channel before. They sell it at Walmart and I think Walgreens now too, and I really like it. So I've used a bit of this brand. I've only had it a few days. I did use it on my body, and that's part of the reason that it's kind of gone a little bit. I've used quite a bit. This retails for like $9, $10. But this is the You Glow Girl. This is a gradual glow tan mist. So I sprayed it on my arm. I've self-tanned now. But the one, like, I didn't like rub it in well, and there was a really clear line. But I've been using this on my face and I really like it. So you can spray it before makeup, kind of do anything after that, let it dry. But I did it earlier. I'm not going to spray it now because I just did it, but I wanted to mention it because I've been absolutely loving this. I've only used it, or I've only had it like maybe a week, but I really fell in love with it. So I've also got some new e.l.f. goodies. You guys know how much I love e.l.f. So I got their new primer. This is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Putty Primer, and literally I got this like almost 3 weeks ago, I swear. Like as soon as the day that it launched, I got it. But I haven't been using it just out of wanting to test it out here on my channel. So that's what we're gonna do today. So it's green. Doesn't really smell like anything, which is good. I'd rather things not have a scent than to have a bad scent, We're gonna be applying this primer today. Look how satisfying that is. So I use the back of my tweezers. You guys can see I've definitely got some acne spots lately. Oh, this is an interesting texture. It's not quite as thick, I want to say. Like, it doesn't apply quite as like harsh and dry as the other ones, which I actually really like. I think that the other ones, like the other primers, I think they have 4 now, and I've tried 3 out of the 4. This is the 3rd one that I'm trying. But I think the other ones, like the matte one and I've never tried the luminous one. I didn't think I would like it, and then I saw reviews on it and I knew I wouldn't like it. This feels really nice. It's a lot more moisturizing than I was expecting. Okay, that's nice. Okay, that's exciting. So this is the Acne Fighting Primer. And yeah, if you suffer from any kind of acne or just whatever, like, it is a pore filling primer from what I presume, if it stays the same as the other ones. But it does have salicylic acid. That's the active ingredient in here. We like that so far. Another thing this is something that I've used and I like, but this is the niacinamide primer drops from Makeup Revolution. Anyway, I've been using niacinamide in my skincare as like a newer thing, and so this one is a mattifying like primer, and so we like it. I've been using this, or I've tried it a few times, but I haven't really been using it too much in my everyday life, and so we're gonna pop that on. So I did change up my background. That's one of the things I did when I was like in recovery. But basically, I guess let's get into what happened. So basically, I was cooking, and I basically like tilted up a pot. Before I get into the story, I wanted to tell you guys I've been obsessed with this. This launched like maybe a year or 2 years ago now. This is the Maybelline Urban Cover Full Coverage SPF Makeup Foundation. It has SPF 50, and I have the shade 220 Natural Beige. It's a really good match for me. But I've been using this, like I've been enjoying that so much. I haven't really been using too much foundation, but today we're going to do like a full face, full glam, and my favorite drugstore foundation for that is the Maybelline Superstay. This one is in the shade 128 Warm Nude. We love it. I haven't actually like applied regular foundation like this, just with my sponge and everything, in like a hot minute, so I'm excited. So anyway, let's get into this story time basically. So my husband had just been like, yeah, we need to start doing date night, like let's plan it, let's pick a date, because we normally do stuff on the weekends and we're pretty like active on our weekends. We do lots, we go to places, we do things, whatever. But he was like, yeah, let's do it during the week. Let's pick Wednesday because it's like right in the middle of the week. It'll be super convenient. it'll be a fun little way to kind of like spice up our life, right? And that day it was a Wednesday, so we had both gotten home and we were both so tired that day. And so we went home and the first thing we did was take a nap. And so we were both kind of like, okay, we woke up like at 8 or 9 or something like that. I think it was like 8, but like almost 9 o'clock. And we woke up and we were starving. We're like, you know, let's not go out. Let's just cook dinner at home together and just like spend some quality time here. Like, bust date night was kind of a bust, but that's fine. We got next week, whatever. So I just applied the Kylie concealer. Mine is in the shade Ivory. I've been doing my makeup slightly differently, like in the routine. So I take this bronzer, but I've been using the Milk Makeup one, but today we're going to use the e.l.f. Putty bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. So I'll blend this out and then we'll apply that. Okay, so going in with the bronzer now. But basically, I was making this pasta and I had it in the front burner, right? And I was also making broccoli, which I had in the microwave. I was steaming it in there. So this is the Putty bronzer, and I'm using the Nazani Kavari foundation brush for this because I really like it for my other bronzer, so I hope it's as creamy. I have their blush and I really like it. By the way, I have the shade Tan Lines. So anyway, I was cooking, everything was going great. The water had just started to boil and I put in the pasta. Like literally it had only just like started to boil. I went to grab something out of the microwave and there was a cutting board in front of the microwave with a long knife. And I wasn't cleaning as I went, which is something you should always do, but you know, I was tired and it was just like, I was just trying to like get the cooking part done, get everything started. And so basically I thought that the knife was going to fall on me because I hit it and the knife spun. And when the knife spun, it spun off of the counter and onto the floor, but I thought it was going to hit me and my dog Roxy. I stepped back and I kind of like flailed my arms to kind of push her back as well, and in doing so I knocked the pot handle off of the stove. Basically, like I should have made, number one, I should have put the pot in the back burner, and I've overanalyzed this 100 times now, but basically my arm hit the pot handle and it went flying and it went above, so I hit it with probably this arm and the pot went over me, and it got me really bad. I'll insert some photos, probably if I can find it. So my husband has a photo of the crime scene, as he called it. Okay, so far I really like this. It's performing very high end, very much like the Milk Makeup one in the shade Baked. I honestly think that I got like an exact color match here, or like very, very close to it. They are performing super similarly, which I love because I love this one. And I don't apply this one directly on my face, so it's kind of the same concept. Basically, I'm just sticking my brush in. So I will insert some photos of the kitchen if I can find them here at the time, like of it happening, because my husband took photos. But basically, the water, I was only wearing a nightgown. I was cooking in it, which now I'm like, maybe we should cook with more clothing on. But you live and you learn, right? So I've also been going in with cream blush. This one is the Wet n Wild blush in the shade Peach Bums. It's a little bit shimmery, and I've been doing this as well. Honestly, just kind of an extra step. You don't need to do cream bronzer or do cream blush as well, because I haven't been doing as much setting on my face when I go out during the day. I kind of like the more luminous look lately, just like during daytime. I've been applying this. But anyway, let me get back to the story again. So basically, my husband yelled at me to like, we were frantic. So he yelled at me, he's like, take your nightgown off. I took it off. And he was like running around trying to get me a wet rag with water to be able to, I guess, cool my skin off. It was very, very frantic. I should have gotten in the shower. Apparently that's like, everyone says that if you get burned, run it under cold water. But like, it was so traumatic at the time, and I was in so much shock that I didn't do that. I'm going in with the Haley's Beauty retouch. But anyway, so I didn't do that. And so he got a cool rag and we put it over me. And I honestly think that helped a lot because I put it mostly on my shoulder, which is why I think it's healed so well. So the burn is on my shoulder, but it also goes to my back, and all of my left breast, which is so my left breast got the worst of it, honestly. And for that reason, that's like the most of pictures that I have. So a lot of the pictures you'll be seeing are just like side boob, because most of it is like almost in the area where you would like put a triangle bikini. Like you can't see it outside of my tank top. The burn kind of starts there and progresses downward. It got half of like my nipple area, I got my nipple and then like half of that areola, and so I lost the skin on my areola immediately. That was like the first skin that I lost. It was the deepest part of the burn, and so it I immediately lost that skin. Like literally it just melted off. I mean, there's no other way to say that. It was incredibly shocking to see it. You know, you don't think that those things are going to happen to you, but then like you see it on yourself and then you feel that's your skin, and it's just like there's nothing to describe that feeling. It's, I guess, traumatic, but other than that, it's taken a lot of time for me to come on here and film or want to film anything after the accident, because it was just so painful, and like talking about it too is kind of painful, and I've tried to kind of block it out in a lot of ways, so it's been a little bit hard on that regard. But anyway, this is an OG bronzer. I've been using it for a while now. This is the Morphe Glamour Bronze. Mine is in the shade Icon, but they have other shades now. They've extended it. So anyway, my husband's like running around frantically trying to figure out like what to do. We've never really, either one of us has ever really dealt with like burns or anything like this. You know, he's looking at what to do, and I'm like, we gotta go to the ER, like we got to go right now. So I put on a different nightgown, something longer, a little bit more coverage, and like literally we just get in the car and he drives us there. At first he didn't realize that we needed to go to the ER, but I was in so much pain. Part of the reason that we went simply was not only to treat it and to figure out what to do, and like, am I gonna need skin grafts, is it a 3rd degree burn, etc., etc., but part of the reason that we went, or that I wanted to go, was because it was so excruciatingly painful. Like the worst pain hands down that I have ever experienced was that. So this is another cool thing that I got while I was away. This is the Rouge Romance from Jaclyn Cosmetics. The packaging is absolutely beautiful. I have the matte blush palette. They have 2 of them. I have the darker one, or like the regular one. So this is a really nice mirror. It's really nice, like thick fluffy packaging almost. I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, I don't have the light shade, and I think this was limited edition. Actually, I know it was limited edition. I don't know if she has any more in stock, but I'm excited to use this today because I've barely dipped into it just out of not being here, you know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I sat on the stage at my desk and did my makeup. So I really like this shade right here, Tea Room, but I think I want to go with something more pinky today. I think I'm going to go to Tempting and Fancy Pants. It also has a peachy pink, so I'm going to do these 2. And I'm applying them with a Duo fiber brush, just to get a little bit of a lighter application. So I will pack them on a little stronger in a little bit after highlight and everything, but for now. We actually live pretty close to the ER, and the reason we even knew that is because I had to go there for this accident. I got a pipe or something like in my chin a few years ago, and so we knew exactly where to go. So we went there. Went to the ER. It took forever to get seen. I swear, that was awful. It literally took forever. Okay, so this is another new purchase. This is the e.l.f. X Gen Atkin. It smells like coconuts. It's called Mist Me. I don't know if this is still available, but normally e.l.f. keeps their collabs around for a little bit, so maybe it is. I actually have talked about this on my channel, I remember now, but I really enjoy that. I haven't had it very long, and I've been doing my makeup. I haven't been doing my makeup much, but I've been using this a lot. The base looks good. Looks a little dewy right now. We're gonna leave that alone and do my brows real quick. So anyway, we get to the ER. We've waited forever at this point. It was super frustrating, just because I was in a lot of pain. I mean, there's no other way around it. I was like bawling my eyes out in the ER. So eventually I got seen. As soon as they were like checking my vitals and like kind of doing like intake stuff, weighing me, things like that. I was able to keep it together enough for the beginning of that, but I started to feel like I was gonna pass out pretty quickly into that, because it had already been like 30 minutes to an hour since I had gotten burned, and I had been in that excruciating pain that entire time without any kind of relief, you know? And it was like my body was just like, oh, we're not dealing with this, so we're gonna faint now. And so I like laid my head against the table and like almost collapsed. And then it was the feeling of throwing up that kind of kept me awake, I guess. And so that was, I can't remember if I threw up again after that, but I think that was the only time I threw up. But I kept feeling nauseous for a while due to the pain. I'm actually gonna do my brows off camera because it takes so long, and if I'm gonna keep talking, it's just, we're gonna be here forever. So you guys, my brows are done, number 1. But you guys I've gotten so many comments to do more looks with this palette. I guess people just like buy things and then forget about them and then they don't do that. So I don't know how other beauty influencers do it, but I like to pull old stuff back out because it's like, why buy it, you know? Today, as of y'all's request, we're going to be doing a look with the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I haven't played with any of the burgundies or reds, so I think that's what we're going to do today. And we're just going to play while I chit chat with you guys. I'm going to start off with the shade Comfort Zone and throw that in the crease. Make sure that my eyelids are primed with concealer, but it is still kind of damp. I haven't set it with anything. So this is just the shade Comfort Zone. I'm throwing it all over the crease. I chose it because it's the darkest of the transition shades, and I thought it would go really good with those burgundies. So anyway, after I grew up and they did all the intake stuff, I was finally wheeled back to a room. And I could walk, it wasn't that, but I was so faint that it really was just safer for them to wheel me there. And once I got into the room, they did an IV drip with morphine in it. That morphine did nothing, y'all. Like literally absolutely nothing. I'm going with Perfectionist now just to kind of blend the outer corners. But yeah, so that first drip of morphine didn't really do nothing. I can't remember if that came first or if them like patching me up first. I think the very first thing they did was put like saline drenched rags, like gauze, all over my burns to cool them down and kind of help with the burning feeling that I couldn't get rid of, you know? I'm sure if I ask Tyler, he'll recall this a little bit better. My memory of it is very hazy due to the pain. But basically, I remember them doing that. After a while, they came back to basically see how the morphine was sitting with me. And I was like, he's like, how does it feel? And I was like, what do you mean? How does it feel? It freaking burns. Like, it's awful. Obviously I wasn't rude to the guy or anything like that. I just was like, it still hurts, you know, still painful. And he was like, oh, okay. And so he goes and he knocks up the morphine, gives me another like double dosage of what he had just done. And then finally I felt relief. I mean, it still hurt, but I was way more under control. So now I think I'm going to jump into the shade Next, which is this one right here. We're going to kind of do a little burgundy moment. This one seems like the lighter one of them to kind of jump into. I haven't done a burgundy look in forever. Cannot tell you the last time I actually put purple colors on my eyes or anything fun, so this is very exciting. They did that. They bandaged me up. They gave me some silver sulfidine and then gave me the prescription for that. And this is all just at the ER. They also gave me some oxycodons to pick up at the pharmacy the next morning. So Tyler, that's like the first thing he did the next morning. I was still passed out and he went up to go do that for me. We left the ER really late that night. We actually got cookout because we, again, didn't eat anything because the dinner that I was preparing was all over the floor. There was literally pasta bits everywhere when we got back. Then the next day, it's all blur right now. It's all still a blur. But basically either the next day or the day, a few days after, I went to, I think it was the next day, I went to my general practitioner and they were like, oh my goodness, they did a terrible job, they should have done XYZ and XYZ and XYZ. Kind of like being, upset at the people at the ER, the way things had kind of progressed. But because they literally only gave me like this tiny tub and forgot to prescribe me the silver sulfidine cream, which was like ridiculous. Is part of the reason I had to even go to my general practitioner, because I didn't have the antibacterial cream or antibiotic cream or whatever to put on the burns. So they told me at the ER that I had burns on roughly 10% of my body. So that wasn't good. That wasn't fun to hear, but we did it. So we called my mom that night, and she was literally gonna come here like in the middle of the night. She doesn't live here, she lives in Tennessee, and so it was kind of a long drive for her, but luckily she decided to wait, and then she came the next day. So she came like the very next day that I had gotten burned. Between her and Tyler, they took care of me and nursed me back to health. It was a really long recovery just to have skin again on all of those burns, because basically what happens is that you lose all of your skin. Like, it blisters really awful. Oh, by the way, I had 2nd-degree burns. I also burnt my neck, my arm. You can see this. My arm was a 1st-degree burn, and you can just see darkness here now on the bottom of my wrist. My foot kind of looks the same way. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Crazy. So it's this really, really deep burgundy purple. I'm going to place that on the outer corner. I might switch brushes. I think I need something more dense. Oh yeah, this shade is really, really deep. I don't want to add black to this look just because I'm not trying to kind of take it there. So first I'm just patting this shade in, and then I'm just going to go in with my previous brush and that next shade and kind of diffuse them together. So it was a very long recovery process. Bathing was the most painful thing. And so for a solid 3 weeks, my routine was sleep all day because I was, you know, taking oxys and hydros to help with the pain. I would eat at some point in the day. I would take my shower at some point because I had to wash it every day and basically get rid of all of that skin that was building up, and I had to clean it because both my ER doctors and my general practitioner were both very worried about infection. And so not only, you know, were we worried about the actual burn and healing and all of that stuff, but we were really worried about infection. I had to wash it every day, and that was super frustrating. Having to go through this excruciating process of cleaning it, because once the blisters like popped and all the skin peeled off and I had no skin on any of these burns for a while, that was probably the worst of it, because it was like I would shower and it would take forever and it was so painful, and the water hurt, the gauze hurt, I mean everything. I don't think I've ever experienced so much pain in my life. I know I haven't. That was definitely the most painful experience. I do not wish it on anybody, and if any of you have been through it, you know what I'm saying. So basically I'm just going in with those two previous colors, my original transition shades, and just kind of blending that out. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line as well, just taking this really deep purple, gonna run it under here. So anyway, that's pretty much the story, you guys. There's definitely a lot more gory details along the way, but I've kind of blocked a lot of it out, and it was all so painful that I try not to think about it because it's still very much a part of my life, and I still have to think about it a lot because now that I have this burn and it's summertime, I'm constantly being like, okay, well, like I can't wear certain things. Like I could not wear this tank top out in public, or out in the sun anyway, for more than a few seconds before I had to either cover it up with something or whatever, just because that skin is so sensitive. So it sucks that it's happening during like the summertime, but at the same time I literally am just so grateful to be alive and well and not in pain anymore from it, that I'm just like, okay, we will slather all the sunscreen, we will wear all the sun shirts, we will cover it up, we will wear the biggest hats, it's fine. And everybody has been so amazing. So basically now I'm just taking some browns to kind of blend it out and using the shade Comfort Zone, which is one we've been using, and then the shade Homebody underneath it to just kind of blend out the lower lash line so that it doesn't look so purple. So I'm gonna do a cut crease today, and I'm just gonna use my concealer again. Actually, should I do a cut crease? I wish I could just ask you guys and you were here. If I did a cut crease, it would just be like some glitter moment. I'm kind of thinking no cut crease, but we'll see. But yeah, I was out of work for all of that time. I didn't really get to do much of anything, you know. It also happened that happened to me like the week before my birthday, or a few weeks before my birthday. I don't even know anymore, but I know that all of that was still happening while I was, you know, while my birthday happened. And so it, you know, did not look the way that I wanted it to look. I was actually throwing myself a birthday party this year, and so that kind of got adjusted to accommodate. It did not turn out the same way. We ended up just doing a dinner with a few close friends. What I was saying earlier is that I just can't believe the amount of support that I was getting from friends and family, and you know, anybody who knew what was happening to me. They were so kind. Their well wishes really did make such a difference to me, and it really kept me going and made me feel like I wasn't alone in this awful thing that had happened, you know. So that was a really good feeling. So I think I'm gonna leave it nice and light like this, and I'm just gonna take the shade Certified and pack it on the inner corner. But now I am mostly healed. My skin is still very sensitive. I still can't wear certain things. Like the other day I tried wearing, so I couldn't wear a bra for the longest time, obviously, because it was on my boob, but also because the burn sits right where my bra strap would sit, and basically like even this shirt, like you can, I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it does get painful if like anything really, you know, tight or uncomfortable sits there for too long. and so that really limits the things that I can wear, but we're doing our best. And I'm doing much better, and it feels really good to be sitting here again. Oh my goodness, you guys, I forgot that I got this palette, so next time we're gonna be using this. This is the ColourPop Your Golden palette. My husband got this for me for my birthday. Look how beautiful she is. I was like, I knew I got a new palette, but I couldn't remember what it was. Anyway, I think that's everything burn related. I kind of want to change the topic. Like, let's move on. We're done with that. That's a closed chapter in our book, and you know, of course I will continue to talk about it at some points, and kind of update you guys on how we're doing, but for the most part right now we're doing great. And they did tell me that I couldn't be in the sun for a very long time. Basically couldn't have it like exposed to sun, or it was going to, you know, hurt and scar and all these other things that could possibly happen. A few years ago I was obsessed with purple eyeshadow like this. I totally forgot that I did my wing on this side, but I totally forgot that I got this. So this is the Kiss Lash Glue Liner. So this is black eyeliner and lashes. So this is what we're gonna be doing today. I'm just gonna go over this wing with the lash glue, but I'm gonna do this eye with just the lash liner to see what happens. So these are in the style Adore. These look like really nice lashes. I think I'm gonna cut them on the inner so that I have some length. You always want to make sure to kind of size your lashes up before you pop them on. I don't know. The fact that I just said I don't know like that reminds me of that TikTok. She's like, I just don't know. I just really don't know. My friend and I are constantly quoting TikToks, and it's just like, how did we get here? Because I know when TikTok first launched, I was like, and I don't even have it downloaded on my phone anymore, but like, it's just so pervasive in social media now that everybody sees all the TikToks, even if you don't have TikTok. So now that that's done and I've cut them up, I'm gonna go ahead and do this eyeliner with this eye. I normally don't love a felt tip liner. I prefer this one. This is technically a felt tip, but it's very, very flimsy. I feel like this one's gonna be a little bit more stiff than I'm used to. You know what? I didn't apply mascara, and now I'm like, what step do I do that at? Well, I guess we'll apply mascara now. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. I don't love this, and I don't think it's worth the hype. Okay, though, I gotta say, y'all, I'm impressed at the wing we were able to achieve. Holy... Okay, the inner part is kind of bothering me. I just don't think I love the band on this, but it does stick, and I literally took it off and then popped it back on. It's still doing its thing. So okay, you guys, so I'm not sure about longevity with this product yet. Normally the lash glue that I use lasts me through just about anything. Like literally a pool day will make it last, and it's still fine. It's also from Kiss, and it is the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive in the shade Black. This is odor-free, latex-free, and waterproof. And that's normally what I use for my lashes, but we'll see how long this one lasts, you know? This is black, but it doesn't claim to be waterproof or anything. It said that it is formulated to last all day, but oily skin might require reapplication during the day. Like, listen, I'm not trying to reapply my lash. Once they're on, and if they're not, then, you know, that's not what we're doing. But I like these lashes. I think I will try to use the same product with like my regular lashes, because I'm not going to be buying these lashes again. They're not my absolute favorite. Like, they're pretty, but they're just not like stunning or anything spectacular. Now I'm going to go with the Sky High mascara from Maybelline. I like this mostly for my lower lashes, just because the wand is so skinny. But I've talked about this on my channel, and I'll say it again, I don't love this product. I don't know. I got it because like of the hype and everything, you know? And it's nice, but it's not like incredible. So pretty much everything's done. I haven't been doing a ton of highlight lately, and I don't think I'm going to today. I don't even think I'm going to apply any highlight except for maybe on my nose. I think we've already got so much going on that, you know, we don't want to add too much. And also, I'm not even like dipping into a new highlight. I'm literally just using whatever I already had on this brush, just because I don't feel like it today. And I'm just gonna kind of go back in with my blush brush to slightly intensify blush on my cheeks. And then for lip liner, today I'm gonna go in with still one of my absolute favorite lip liners are the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liners. I have purchased and repurchased these. This is a lot of the repeat shades here. I've got one Cafe, one Flesh, one Sugar and Spice, another Cafe, and one is Bare. Today I'm going to be using the Sugar and Spice one because it has a little bit of a like purple pull to it a little bit. So I think it'd be really complimentary to the eyes. These are super great. They're super affordable. They're by LA Girl. They're creamy even though they're a wooden lip pencil. And sometimes they even have them on sale for like $2. That's like the first time I bought it at Ulta was like on sale. And I think that normally I do glossy lip. Like that's just like my favorite. It tends to be a glossy lip. But today I'm going to keep it matte. And I'm just going to take a little bit of MAC Velvet Teddy because it's a more pinky color. And I'm just going to put that on the inner part of my lip. All I've been doing to set my makeup is the e.l.f. Jen Atkins spray. I have other sprays. My favorite for long lasting lately has been the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender. This is what it looks like. I think that this is a dupe for the makeup. Oh, I just blanked on the name. But I think that this is a dupe for a high-end product. From Urban Decay, sorry. The Urban Decay All Nighter. I think this is a dupe for it. So check it out. But for now I'm just gonna use this because we ain't gonna make it, it's not gonna be that serious. Also, I really love the spritzer on this, just FYI. Sometimes that's really good to know. I like to reuse a lot of these bottles for other things. So far I love everything, and I think that this is all going to last really well. I think I'm gonna really enjoy a lot of these products. The one thing that I will say that I am gonna have to update you guys on is this lash glue, because like the lashes are fine, they're very pretty and everything, but really I think the thing that we're testing with this is the lash glue to see its longevity. So it said that if you have oily eyelids you might have to reapply, and like, girl, we're not trying to reapply midway, like halfway through the day or through a date night or through whatever. No, like if I'm putting my lashes on, they better stay, you know? So I'm gonna update the description bar down below after I wear them for a few hours and let you know what we think and if I think it's worth it. You guys can always ask me any questions in the description down below, and I try to always get back to those comments. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm so happy to be back, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.